Hello. It's been a while. I don't even know how to do this anymore. I think it's been, how long has it been? Like at least 3 months? No, more, because I think the last one I did was like last year. And it's April. But this is gonna be like a multi-part video podcast. I don't know if it's a podcast or not, but I'm filming like, well, also my hair has grown. Can you see? My undercut is still on the side, but I'm letting this bit grow. Anyway, it's gonna be a bunch of videos. So first news is I got a new tattoo. Probably everybody's seen it. It's a snake with roses and 73 on my left arm that has the 3 hollows. But this is going to be a multi-part video because I'm filming this. Today is April the 11th. It's a Sunday. And I'm gonna go through everything in parts. So this first one. Also, hopefully, if everything goes right, by the time I upload this and everybody watches it, I'm gonna be in Seoul, probably quarantining, if everything goes well. But if everything goes well, I want to tell the story of how I got to that point. But also trigger warning, especially for this part of the video, because I'm going to be talking about mental health, suicide, and struggles, mental health struggles, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know where to start, but basically, new year, been living in the same way I was living the year before, because nothing changed. Still panoramic times. So New Year's Eve, New Year's I spent with my mom. Then got I had a little break from work for the holidays. And then on January 10th, I was really going through it, and that's an understatement. And I tried to kill myself. If I'm laughing, it's just because I'm uncomfortable. Also, I'm autistic, so sometimes my expressions don't match what I'm saying. But anyway, so I'm not gonna go too much into detail about what happened, but because this is, I don't think it's helpful for anyone to know the hows and the process and everything. But I was pretty set on doing it that night. Because the previous times I attempted, I had written letters to all the people that I cared about, like very specific letters to everybody, and I left instructions on things I had to pay, to help people sort things out after the fact. But this time I was so not doing well that I was pretty set on doing it. And I did it. I just sent like a very short video. I made a group on WhatsApp with like the people I care about, which is like 6 people, 5 people. I don't. My dog doesn't have WhatsApp. Anyways, just my family, my girlfriend, and my friend. And I just sent a video to them saying like, sorry, love you. I tried, but I really can't do this anymore. And I just, attempted. Luckily, or I don't know, I'm still coming to terms with how I feel about things. So luckily or unluckily, I don't know. My mom was still awake by the time I sent the video, so she came to my house. I had locked everything. She has the keys, but I locked the, like the lock that you just push, so she couldn't come inside. So she called the police, she called the firefighters, she called like the ambulance and stuff like that. But anyway, they managed to come in. It's so weird talking about this. Not that it's the first time, but it's the first time that I actually not got caught, but it was the first time that someone else knew what was happening. So, and it was the first time I had to go to the hospital for this. So the ambulance came, the police came, the firefighters came. It was a struggle to get me to go to the hospital because I really hate it. I don't know, most people who are close to me know this. I hate doctors, I hate hospitals. I'm really terrified of it. And but I was also not in a really conscious state. I mean, I was kind of conscious, kind of not. But eventually they said I really didn't have a choice. I had to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital in an ambulance, and I know this is like really out of place, but it was a fun experience being in the ambulance because I like driving. And I don't know if he was a doctor or just like a primary rescuer. There was this guy who was like old and whatever, and like he he was by my side the entire time, and he made sure I was like comfortable and everything. And he said a lot of things that I keep thinking about for some reason, and I'm really sad that I don't know his name because I really wish I could just like thank him more properly, because on that day I wasn't in a state of mind where I could really show my appreciation for what he was doing. So yeah, I went to the hospital, then my mom met me there. And technically, because it's COVID, nobody, like, you're not allowed visitors or people to stay with you. But because I'm autistic, my mom managed to go inside and stay with me. And I had like IV drip on my plugged into my, I don't remember if it was here. And they did a bunch of tests, like blood tests and whatever, the heart test. And I had my army bomb there because I was like really crying, like saying like, I don't want to go to the hospital. That's what I remember. I don't remember a lot, but I remember that like when I realized that I really couldn't escape it, I had to go. I took my army bomb because I use it to stim. So I took it as like a comfort thing, so I could stim and just like have something that makes me comfortable with me. And then on the journey there, this doctor, I don't know what, nurse or primary rescuer or whatever, he asked me what it was. I told him, I explained to him, because he was trying to get me awake and whatever. Also, something really kind was that I'm really scared of doctors, and I got into the ambulance. I really didn't want to go. I was already terrified, and I was already like, I wasn't really conscious because, I was in that state. And I was very reluctant to go. And then I went inside the ambulance, and the driver turned on the siren, and that I just flipped out. I was like covering my ears. I was like, please, 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 like make it stop. I was like shaking my army ball or whatever. And the kind doctor asked the driver to turn it off. So I really wish I knew this guy's name so I could like thank him, because he was really kind and he treated me really well. And obviously I was terrified for my life, not for my life, because but sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But I was terrified of the situation of going to the hospital and not knowing what was gonna happen, because I was at the hospital or whatever. Like, are they gonna lock me in here? So I'm just thankful for that person. And should I go into, anyway, I stayed at the hospital. My mom stayed with me, got my blood all cleaned up or whatever. I don't really know, man. And I hate that I worried people. I think that's the, I don't know if I want to go into this, because I don't want to go into deep about this, because there's still like lots of things that I haven't come to terms with, and this isn't the first time it's happened. So like, I don't know if I'm the best person to be talking about this. But anyway, came home. The doctors told me that I either could stay at the hospital or stay with my mom. Basically, I couldn't come back to my own house. So obviously I chose to stay with my mom. I didn't really fucking want to stay at the hospital. So ever since then, I've been pretty much living with my mom. Like, I'm home. I am at my house now, because I come here now on the weekends, because now things are more like settled. I can take care of my own medicine in a way that everybody is comfortable and they trust me. But yeah, it's been something, and I don't want to go too into that, even though I probably already have. Anyway, moving on. So after all that happened, and I'm in a place right now where I'm still not fine, but that's just how depression works. I mean, I've had depression for over a decade now, and anxiety and a bunch of other comorbid problems. So it's not like I'm I survived, I'm a new person. Like, no. But what happened, I'm still dealing with, trying to come to terms with it, or trying to understand how I feel about getting through it and still being here and whatever. But anyway, after that happened, I increased the frequency of my therapy sessions, obviously. And I just kind of like reached a point where I realized that I needed to do anything to change my life. Obviously, in a time of a pandemic, it's not the best time to do it. You can't really, like, in Italy especially, like, I'm still in the red zone, which is the type of like lockdown restriction that's the highest. So I can't really go anywhere. So it was really like, yeah, I want to do something, but like, what can I do in the situation that I'm in right now? And not just me, but everybody else. And I know people have bigger problems, but my therapist said I shouldn't minimize my own problems just because other people have problems. So I was just basically thinking, like, what can I do? What do I want to do? Because I think Um, Not knowing I was autistic for so long, especially in the past few years, took so much from me in the sense of like identity and losing parts of myself and not understanding why and not knowing a lot of things. So I, I kept having this feeling of just like I don't know what I want anymore. I don't know what I want to do, where I want to go, what I want to do with my life. And so after this like thing happened that I went to the hospital and whatever, I was like, okay, let's try to think of something that gets me going in the sense of I forgot to bring water. It gets me going in the sense of like, okay, I have like a goal, I have an aim, I have something to work towards, and I decided to go back to studying, but in Korea, which is something that I've been really wanting to do for I don't even know how long, like 4 years. Basically doing a language program in Korea where you learn Korean, like you leave the program speaking Korean fluently. And it's this program that I've been researching about and looking at for 4 years, more even. So it was always in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, I want to do this someday. But there was always like, oh, but I have to quit my job or this or that or da. But like with the situation that I'm in right now, or and that everybody's in right now, like what else can we do? Like with the way things are going, like there's never going to be the perfect time. So I decided that I want to go to Korea to study, and hopefully by the time this video goes up, I'll be in Korea and everything will be okay. Hopefully. If not, I'll just cut out these parts. Or maybe I'll just leave them in and say like, oh, I failed, great, now I'm fucking really sad and my mental health is worse. Anyway, it hasn't happened yet, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So basically after I had this idea, I already started putting things into plan, because that's how I work. Like I need structure, I need lists, I need plan A, B, C, Z. So I started out planning everything, and not really telling people. I only told my mom, my dad, my brother obviously, and my girlfriend, because she lives in Korea and we're kind of doing this together. But I'm waiting to tell my friend until I have an answer, because I hate the feeling of like disappointing people, even though I know she wouldn't feel like I'm disappointing her. But I like things to be like set, so before I can talk about it. That's why I'm not going to post this right now. I'm only going to post this in a few months. So yeah, I started planning things, and obviously it's my second time moving countries, and you would think I'd be like more. I guess I am. I've been through this before, but this time I'm moving alone, because the first time I moved with my mom, and even then it was a long process, and there were a lot of things to do. But this time everything's different. Like I have my own house, I have to pay taxes, etc., etc., etc. So there are a lot more things for me to sort out. So basically I had this idea, and then I started researching, and I decided that I wanted to do this program that I've been looking for a long time, looking at for a long time. And then just the planning started, like what kind of documents do I need, what kind of papers do I need, what kind of what do I have to do, like with everything, like my house, my job, my taxes, my company, because here in Italy I work as an autonomous worker, so I have a company technically, even though it's just me. So there's a lot to there's a lot to oh, why is my voice like this? There's a lot to ah 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 ah. My voice is weird. There's a lot to be done before, like insurance and visa and applying for the university and hoping you get accepted. And yeah, so basically I have a very long list. I have a very thorough Excel spreadsheet with like a bunch of tabs of like application, what I need to do before Korea, what I need to do for the visa, what I need to do first thing after arriving in Korea. And it's very long. It's very, very long. There's a lot of things I need to do. I mean, I've crossed out a bunch of things already, so I have to like pat myself on the back for doing this while being like extremely depressed. But I've crossed out a lot of things of my list. Also like medical checkups, going to the dentist, and like if you've moved countries, you know how it is. But I think moving countries during a pandemic also adds like a flavor of extra things you have to do. But yeah, so far right now I'm at this stage where I have all the documents I need to apply except for one, which is coming soon because it has to be issued within a certain date before I send in my application. Like the financial one has to be issued within 30 days of the application, so I can't do that right now, but all of the other documents are done and ready. I've already told my landlady that I'm moving, and I'm moving at the end of May, so 1st of June I won't be living here anymore. And it's weird because I really like this place and it's mine, and it feels mine, but I have to move forward. And yesterday the second person came, like my landladies has started bringing out people to see the apartment and whatever, and yesterday the second person came, and it's a strange feeling, but I'm trying to like keep my vision towards my goal. And for me to move and for me to study and for me to go where I want to, I have to let go of this place. And what else where am I right now? Yeah, documents are ready. I went to my accountant. I talked to them about like what I need to do to bureaucracy and stuff like that, like taxes and closing off my partita IVA, which is the company. And then I already told my boss that I'm quitting in May. Like May is going to be my last month working as a teacher, which is also really weird because I've been teaching. How long have I been teaching for? 7 years? 7 years. And this is going to be the first time that I'm going to stop like for a while. And I don't know if I'm going to go back to it or whatever, but you've also been to the dentist. And tomorrow is like the final step where I'm going to go get my, I don't know how you call it, like the guard, the mouth guard for when you sleep, because I I have like TMJ, and I really like clench my mouth, like clench my jaw when I sleep. It's really fucking, like, I have headaches and it really hurts. My face really hurts, and it was starting to like fuck up my teeth. So I've already like fixed my bite at the dentist. Got a clean up. Then tomorrow I'm gonna go get my guard. I think it's called a guard, mouth guard, but that's like what boxers use. You know, like the clear thing, you know, whatever. Then I went to get some exams done, which was terrible because I hate the doctor and I hate people touching me and I hate waiting for results and all that kind of stuff. So that was terrible, and it was this week as well. I did a lot of things this week. But basically that's where I'm at. I'm like, also I've already like donated everything throughout things that I couldn't donate. So pretty much everything I have in my house is ready to go to move. Obviously I'm gonna leave some things with my mom, but my plan is to take all my merch with me. And honestly, it's like funny to me, but like at the same time I don't really care because it's my special interest and I like having my things with me, and like I don't really care what other people think. And I'm gonna take all of my merch with me, and it's probably gonna be a challenge because I have a lot of merch and it's, some things are very bulky, like this for example, you know, but whatever, I'm moving, and if it makes me feel comfortable, I can do it. I'm gonna do it. And yeah, so I've already donated clothes, donated things. I sold some things to make some money to like help, because you know, times aren't easy. Sold some things, donated things, threw away things. I've already kind of separated what I'm going to leave with my mom, which is not a lot. I don't want to, you know, like I just don't want to be like, buy, take care of my stuff. And also I don't have a lot of stuff to begin with, like clothes and stuff like that. I only really have like, the thing I really only hear about is like merch. I have books too, but I'm not gonna take them with me because when I moved from Brazil to Italy, I had one suitcase full of books, and this time I can't. Like, I don't have enough hands to carry in 3-4 bags with me. So more about prioritizing and for me the merch is what I need to feel comfortable and safe, and it's my special interest, and that's it. So what else have I done? What else have I done? What else have I done? I don't know, man. I have a lot of things to do, but there's also like a lot of waiting involved when it comes to moving. You know, like I think people who move countries before know how it is. Like, you have so many things to do. Like, this was March. Like, I don't know if you can see, but this was March. This is April, like right now. And there's so, you know, like when you add one thing to your to-do list and then that thing adds 4 more. And so there's a lot of things I have to do, but there's also a lot of waiting, which is something I'm not good at. Patience and waiting, because I have anxiety and I just want things to be okay and ready to go and done, and like the certainty of it and whatever. So right now I haven't even sent my application yet. So there's the uncertainty of like, oh my God, what if it gets lost in the mail? What if I don't get it accepted? Or what if the documents they sent me get lost in the mail? Or what if I don't get the visa? Or, you know, stuff like that. And also like having to keep up with like the COVID measures of like what kind of test I need and what kind of document I need and this and so there's a lot of things I still need to do. Big things, small things, you know, like how you like quit job, big thing, I've already done it. But you also have like small things like, you know, buy this before you travel or do this before you travel, like smaller things. Like I need to take some photos for the visa, I need to take some photos for the university. So I still have a lot of big things and a lot of small things to do. But I've done a lot in the past months, and yeah, so this is hopefully the beginning of the podcast where I am moving countries again in the middle of a pandemic. But I feel like if I don't do anything, I'm gonna go, no, it's not gonna go well, you know? So I'm hoping for the best. I can't ask anybody to hope for the best because you're only gonna see this if it's already either gone well or gone to shit. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I guess I'll update you when I have more to say. This is already half an hour long. So maybe I probably can do this in like in installments, like episode. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I guess I'll update you when I have more news, bigger news, when I've been able to move forward a little more and get closer to my goal a little more. But yeah, hopefully I trigger warned this well, and I didn't say too much or something wrong, or maybe things came across wrong. But yeah, I just be safe, you know, like and thank you for watching. I'll be back when I closer to my goal, I guess. So bye.